Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to go over Dark Elves, Faction Crypts 21 using Visix. We talked all about her yesterday. We are also going to use a Madam, with a Madam, without a Madam. Same thing with her, same thing with Psylar, same thing with Loria, and the same exact thing with Captain Tamila. We're going to do runs with them and without them, but all the runs are going to have Kaiden, because this guy is the real MVP of Dark Elves to get you through those Faction Crypts, to make sure that everybody makes it to the end and is alive to do the job that they need to do. So make sure that you have a Kaiden. Without a Kaiden, it's going to be pretty difficult unless you're using legendaries. But we're only going to use this legendary from time to time. We're going to use these epics and we're going to use these rares, and we're going to make it through everything we do out there. Now, each of the teams are going to have somebody on there that does a stun, that has stun artifacts on them. Right now, we have stun artifacts on Psylar whenever we run her. You want to make sure you do her masteries like this, because the clan boss has poisons and fears that we can actually get this up. We can use the wisdom of battle. We can have this trigger. We're doing this to get an additional chance to do our stuns. Also, you can use this in any run you do. We'll take less damage from critical hits. We'll try to extend our debuffs, because you know Psylar does the slow speed. She decreases turn meter, all the great stuff that she does. We're trying to get turn meter here. We're trying to get turn meter here, and then we just go down to get our fearsome presence. Now, the only other team that I'm going to run in here that does have the same thing is our Loria. Now, she's got freeze as well, but we're also going to double up on that and make sure we're stunning people. That way, when we go into the masteries, we get a 5% chance additional to freeze and to stun. And don't forget, on all these masteries we're doing, we have Harvest of Spare. So whenever we freeze somebody and whenever we stun somebody with Psylar, either one, even from the artifacts, we can get a leech to heal our allies with. There's a lot of runs to do. Let's see how it all plays out. So off, we have Visix on the left-hand side with a Psylar, and on the right-hand side, we have Visix with a Cold Heart. The rest of the people are the same. We've got Kaiden, Madam, and then Painkeeper in here. We're gonna run it through here. Now, keep in mind, always with Faction Crypts like this as well, this boss, everything this boss does can be resisted. It's gonna attack you with an A1 that can put up a poison and decrease your turn meter. It's got an A2 where it can do all, it's an AoE A2, puts up True Fear for 1 turn, places a 5% poison for 3 turns, and then decreases the turn meter of everybody by 50%. That can all be resisted, and then anytime you attack this boss, you get the HP burn on you. That can be resisted as well. So having high resistance of 200 up to 300 in Faction Crypts for the bosses that don't say cannot be resisted are phenomenal. It makes it so much easier. The bosses that steal from you, flip it back, all that kind of stuff. You can resist each one. You can resist being stolen the buffs on you, and then you can resist having those debuffs put back on your team. Sorry. So let's look at what we've got here. They're going to be comparable in time. Psylar is the one stunning over here, and then over on the right-hand side, we actually don't have anybody stunning. But stun is, you know, stun artifacts, it's such an easier way to get through here. You can see the time on the left is a little bit faster so far. Now, they should be about the same. Now, when you get to wave 2, it is kind of RNG depending on how fast you get through wave 2. Making sure that you take, you know, how often are all these 3 Valkyries going to counterattack you? If you look at the left-hand side right now with Psylar and Visix, Visix does an AoE and does a slow speed. We get that with Psylar. We get an AoE slow speed with Psylar, plus we're using stun artifacts on her. If you wanted a smooth run through this wave 2, then you just put everybody you can in stun artifacts, and you make sure they have fearsome presence, so they have a 5% more to stun. And you just come through here and stun everybody up. But then you got to be ready for the boss, right? Your team has to be ready for that. The reason why we've got Psylar and Visix on the left-hand side is because when we get to the boss, we're going to target the boss. And with Psylar dropping the turn meter, putting the slow speed, with Visix doing the slow speed and the A1 turn meter reduction, that's how we're going to keep down the boss while we AoE everything, the 2 side minions, until we're down to the boss and we kill it. Same thing on the right-hand side. On the right-hand side right now, our Cold Heart is down, but she will be back up. So when we get to the boss, we're going to have Visix targeting the boss, doing the turn meter reduction, and we're going to have Cold Heart doing the turn meter reduction. It actually makes it much faster. It's very easier if you could just turn meter reduction that boss. You'll make it through here. We're going to skip right now. We are just going to skip because we've got a lot of other battles to get through. So you've seen both of these teams go through here. You see how they can work. We're skipping through here. Let's get to the boss. All right, go through here, go through here. We're at the boss. Again, the boss, whenever you attack the boss, will put a burn debuff on you. But we've got heals. We have Painkeeper in here. If you need to put yourself in lifesteal gear, you could do that for some of your champions. With Visix in here, she's in here giving us that shared ally protection. So whenever we're hit, not with a burn, but when we're hit from the boss or we're hit from anybody else, she'll take 50% of that damage. It's helpful, but not mandatory as long as you have heals coming in here. As long as you have that decreased attack is the big play here that we get with our Kaiden, then you don't have to really worry about the boss that much. It's pretty easy to go through here with a decreased attack on these bosses and not worry about getting beat down. So the Ally Protect is nice, or it's okay, but it's not something huge that we need in here. I don't see it really saving us. Plus Kaiden's bringing us back to life. We're fine. We could take a little additional hit because we have Kaiden in here, right? Now, if we didn't have Kaiden, the Ally Protect would play a bigger part and heals would play a much bigger part. So I went through here and then I clipped it when we got down low because I was actually backing out because I didn't have enough keys to do all these runs. I was doing a tremendous amount of runs. So very easy to do. These are all in full auto. Now we're going to pause it right here. Here's another group that I did. On the right-hand side, we have Psylar along with our Cold Heart, but we no longer a Visix. She's not there. This is on the right-hand side. Now, this is a team that I would normally run if I didn't have a whole bunch of legendary champions, right? I'd run this team right here. Painkeeper, Cold Heart, Psylar, Madam, and then we've got our Kaiden there. Now, on the left-hand side, there is no Madam. Look at that. We've got no Madam and we've got no Psylar. But we've got the slow speed from Visix. That's cool. We got a decreased turn meter from her on our A1. We've got Painkeeper in here giving us those heals and turn meter reduction. But now we've got Captain Tamila increasing our resistance, which is great. We want to get 200 to 300 resistance if you want to play that role. If you want to do the resistance roll, none of these guys do. None of mine are running with any kind of resistance like that, so don't worry about it. Captain Tamila will give us 45 in faction crisps, plus she's going to heal us. She's going to give us that increased defense and Ally Protect. There's nothing wrong with doubling up on Ally Protect. We're going to need that because that wave 2, when we go up against all those Valkyries, we're going to be there for a very long time without Madam in there. But we do have a Loria that has a chance to stun, and she has a chance to freeze everybody, and her A1's pretty cool too. Then we've got Kaiden. Let's play it. You'll get to see what I'm talking about. These teams all work, guys. They all work for you to get through here. It's not that difficult. If you're doing Faction Crypts 21, obviously you've been playing the game. You're not going to come up to 21 and be like, it should be a breeze for me. If you've only been farming a short time, you're playing with 4-star artifacts, everybody is super slow, super squishy. You just can't do it, right? You shouldn't even be there. You should be back farming dragons or whatever else you want to farm to get stronger, or Fire Knight for those stun artifacts to just keep locking everybody up. That's the easiest way to get through the waves, and then you got to prepare for the boss, right? Be ready for the boss. But as you can see on both of these teams, I mean, we've got what we need. We've got the Psylar on the right locking everybody up like we've seen so far. We've got the Cold Heart. So when we get to the boss on the right-hand side, we've got Psylar and Cold Heart to take down the turn meter and do mass amount of damage to the boss. On the left-hand side, the one with the Visix, really we've got just a slow play of taking down the boss. And that's what it's going to be like. It's a slow play getting through wave 2, but we've got a lot of coverage. We've got 2 people to heal because you can't tell the difference between Painkeeper and Captain Tamila on the left-hand side. Captain Tamila is in the middle, but we've got 2 people that can heal. Captain Tamila will also do the Ally Protect, and she'll do heals based off of her max HP, so she's just loaded up on HP. We've got revives from Kaiden, and we've got Visix in here doing whatever she's going to do to help us out. Now, do we need Visix in this team right here? Honestly, not really. We could play the same team on the left, and we could have Psylar in there. We could have a Madam in here. We could do a lot of different things. We could probably put a Cold Heart in there to help us out. Whatever helps us get through that wave 2. And honestly, with Loria here, though it's on a 4-turn cooldown, to do that AoE freeze and to try to get those stuns up as well if she doesn't freeze. Look, we got both on all those, but we're getting those leeches too, so we're getting heals. Look at those leeches. Leeches are proccing everywhere. All right, let's go to the right-hand side now. So we're looking at the right-hand side. We are at the Valkyries. We've got the team that, honestly, this is the team without Visix. This is like a standard team for you guys without Visix that play with champions that you're going to use everywhere in this game. We got a Madam on the far right. We got a Cold Heart right there, which I still use 2 Cold Hearts to this day in a Fire Knight. I used Cold Heart forever in Spiders when I was coming up. You can use her everywhere. You know you can use Madam everywhere. You can use Psylar everywhere in that middle spot. And then Kaiden can be used as well. And then Painkeeper, hopefully you've got a Painkeeper leveled up, not only for your unkillable team, but just as an amazing champion. She is still a very, very amazing rare champion to have. And they're on the right-hand side. Those are all the ones I was talking about on the right-hand side without a Visix in there. And doing extremely well. Now, obviously, they're pitted against a left-hand side that doesn't have a Madam. Like I said, without a Madam, it's going to take forever to chunk through. You see that? On the left-hand side, it's taking us forever to chunk through all those shields. And just, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a long, drawn-out fight to do that without a Madam. But I'm hoping all of you out there do have her. Obviously, you know, not everybody does. It's not an easy champion to get. It's still an epic champion in Voids. Summon when there's a 2x event, so you'll have double the chance of getting a Madam. Hopefully, I hope you all get one, because I know you want one for Arena, and I know you want one to get through here. So it will help you, but you don't have to have it. You can still get through here with this. Now, my Loria has HP chest, defense, gloves, and like HP. All she's built is for survivability, to get us through here, to do all her debuffs. And you saw their masteries before. You saw the masteries on Psylar with the stun artifacts. You saw the masteries on Loria with the stun artifacts. Not only does she freeze, she's also going to have a chance to stun. But I wanted to double up because she doesn't have a 100% chance to freeze. So I wanted, since I was using her in that role, and I'm not trying to get damage out of her, then I put her in a stun artifacts as well. Just double up on it. Why not? What you want is everybody stunned. Now this is going to last quite a while. I'm going to jump forward now. We are going to go over to the boss fight on the right-hand side with the team without a Visix, which does really, really well. I would definitely recommend this team. That way you don't have to worry about taking Visix to 6-star, and you don't have to worry about, and I wouldn't book her. I just would not book her. She's not going to be as effective? I know, she won't. But don't worry about the 10 books. Legendary books are still not easy to come by, and you don't want to throw your legendary books in a champion that you're only going to use for faction crypts, sadly enough. And there are a lot of legendary champions out there like that you would be like, okay, I'm going to use for faction crypts. If they are pivotal for you to make it through there, like you have to have them, then yes, I would say that. But I don't believe you have to have her. There are a lot of champions that can do it. I'm telling you, this right-hand side, once you click the boss there at the end and Cold Heart starts coming in, dropping that turn meter, Psylar, all the rest, you've got that decreased attack up. Look, that's my Cold Heart taking a hit. She's not getting blown up. And then if she does die, you know what? That's okay. Our Kaiden's going to bring her back. And we're going to get some heals up from our Painkeeper in just a minute. That are going to be quite a bit. Look at that. We just chunk the boss down. Our fastest run. That team on the right is actually our fastest run out of all the other teams that I've shown you so far. And now we'll go through here to the end. Let's skip. We're going to beat this easy in 6 minutes and 39 seconds on the right-hand side. And then we are still, without a Madam, we are still trucking. Let's get over to it. Okay, we are on wave 2 still at almost 7 minutes. So we're going to go through here 7 minutes of wave 2. Still, we have no decreased defense. What we do, Loria can do it on her A1. She can do it on, she has the random A1. So she's going to get decreased defense up in a while. That's her block buffs on her A3, which is really good. She's a great champion. Loria is a fun champion to get through something like this with. And then she get a decreased attack. That's good. We can also get that from our Kaiden. She has a variable A1, so you can look her up and see what she's got. We'll get our Visix back up off the ground. Don't worry, and we'll make it through here. Let's just skip. How long? 9 minutes? Okay. It's full auto, though, so you don't have to be here. You can be off somewhere else. Let me show myself. I'm going to pop back on here. Hello. So it's full auto. You can be somewhere else while you do this and just go have lunch, right? Go have lunch. It's going to take a while. We're back over here. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Come on. 13 minutes. And hurrah. 13 minutes and 36 seconds without a Madam in here. With our Visix, we got Kaiden, of course, Painkeeper, Loria, and Captain Tamila at level 50. She was our lead to give us that additional resistance. And then again, if you can get around 200 resistance on everybody, put her as a lead, that will be fantastic. You won't have to worry about those debuffs as much, but I don't feel like it's really needed on this one. On this boss, you are okay. But that's all I've got, guys. Let me know what you think. How did you think about the video? What do you think about faction crypts? What do you think about Visix still? I feel like she still needs a little bit of a buff. If she could have AoE counterattack, that would be awesome, right? Finally, a champion after 9 months, they give us something that's like Skull Crusher. Give us a counterattack. Now you've got a counterattack. That'd be pretty cool if she had a counterattack instead of an ally protect, I think. Or, yeah, that'd be good. Counterattack instead of ally protect on a 3-turn cooldown for 2 turns, and that's all it needs to do. I doubt they are ever going to buff her anytime soon, but we've got Visix now. If you want to use her, you can, but I would suggest trying to use one of these other teams so you don't have to waste the chickens, and definitely do not waste those books. Thank you all so much for your time. Appreciate the love and support, and I will see you all on a video soon.